Hi guys, thank you so much for watching this video and welcome to my channel if this is the first video from me that you've ever watched. So as you'll see from the title of this video, this is something completely different from the videos I'd normally do on my channel. So my channel is normally very fitness related. I do gym clothing hauls, workout videos and just little fit tip videos. So this is a completely new direction for me. I do want to start doing more things just about me and my life and more personal things to me on my channel. So this is the first one. So how I'm going to do this video is I'm going to ask myself certain questions and I'm going to put in the details, the different time hops of the different questions. So if there is just one thing or two things that you want to know in this video, then just check out the details because you may be able to just skip forward to the part of the video that you like. So let's get straight into it. So the plastic surgery that I had was a breast augmentation, also known a lot more just as a boob job. So I actually had this done not recently at all. I actually had my operation in March 2016, so it was a long time ago. It's not something that I don't talk about. If people ask me if I've had it done, then I will openly say yes, but other than that I'm actually quite a private person about it. So I chose to go and have breast augmentation very, very randomly. So it wasn't planned at all. I was literally on a company's website that does all those type of surgeries, and I was just looking because I'd got there from somebody else using this company for a nose job. So I was just on their website and Instagram just looking at all their pictures, and then I seen something about a free consultation and I was like, I've always been not desperate to have my boobs done, but it's always been something that I've really disliked about my body, and it was always the thing that if I could change the one thing, I think everybody has just that one top thing that if they could change about themselves then they would if they had the opportunity. And I just thought, I'm going to go to the free consultation. I've never thought in my life I'm going to have a boob job. And yeah, so I booked the consultation. I didn't tell anyone, and then it was actually a very long process of me going to my free consultation and actually having the surgery done. So I went there and it was all because of the money. Obviously a boob job is when I had it done it was about £5,000, so it isn't something that you can just decide to do and have it done the next month. You know, you need to sort out everything financial. So I think I am going to do another video on more about the process of the company I use and my review of them and how that all went down. So I'm just going to go through sort of why I had the operation done and why I chose to do it. So it was something that I really disliked about my body, and I go to the gym a lot, and I found that whenever I was training more upper body and ate cleaner foods, because my body naturally just doesn't hold much fat, my boobs were just disappearing. They were becoming so small. They'd only sort of ever grow or go back to their normal size, which was a 34A. So that's what we're dealing with here. So they were never big. They were always very small. And just going to the gym, I feel like they made me even smaller. And I think for me it was that I've always just been waiting for them to grow. So even when I was at school, you know, everybody was growing these nice juicy boobs, and then I was just there with my A's. So I mean, luckily I was a 34 and that did make them slightly, the cup size slightly bigger as an A, but for me I just literally just hated them. I was never happy with them. It was something I was always self-conscious about, and I think that if you are self-conscious about something and you want to have surgery done, then just do it as long as it makes you happy. So those are the main reasons for me. So overall my operation and stay over at the hospital cost me £5,300. So the boob job itself was say £4,900, and then I paid an additional £4,000 to stay over in their hospital. So they do it all through private hospitals, the company I used, and it was £400 a night. So my operation was actually 5 p.m. on the evening, so in the afternoon, sorry, and it just meant that after my operation I didn't have to leave the hospital straight away. It meant that I could have just sort of an overnight stay just so they could check up on me and make sure I was okay. So overall mine was £5,300. So you do also have to buy quite a lot of stuff for after your operation. So you need to buy the big supportive bras, which are really expensive, and you also need to obviously buy big clothes as well. So there are additional costs that you need to think about, but you can go online and get quite cheaper versions as well. So I probably spent an extra sort of £200 on clothes after that. So what did I have done? I think that's like one of the most in-depth questions, because I never realised how much actually goes into it. So you know that I started off as a 34A, and now I would say that sort of over 2 years on, I'm now a 34C, but I'm a very full C. So normally your boobs wouldn't be as perky, but I have a lot more juice here in my boob. But when I first had them done, I was actually, oh god, they were probably a double D when I first had them done, and obviously over time the swelling does go down, etc. So in terms of what I actually had done, so I had, this will all make sense if you know what I'm talking about. So I had 325cc size implants put in. So the 325 is just the size of the implant, and to be honest, that was the biggest implant that I could get. So my boobs aren't massive now, and that is because it all depends on the stretchiness of your skin on your boob already. So I actually thought you could go in and just simply, you know, say, oh, I want to be a 34E, and I thought it would just sort of happen. But they actually have to obviously, it makes sense now, they have to take into consideration the size of your boob already, how much room there is under the skin, and I went the biggest that I could go. So there are 2 types of implants that you could get. Well, I don't know if they have any more now, but they just had a teardrop implant, and also I think it was just called a round implant. So the teardrop implant, obviously it is the shape of a teardrop, and what that does is that gives you a more natural look in your boobs. So it means that they're not going to be as fuller at the top, but they're still going to be as big at the bottom. So it just means that you'll still have the bigger boobs, but you won't have the sort of increase in size so soon on your chest. And that's the only way I can explain it. So at first I thought I'm going to go with the teardrop because I want them to be natural, but when he told me that my surgeon told me that I could only have about 300 to 325cc, I was like, well, I want them to look as full as possible because I want to get the most for my money. So obviously I went for the round implant in the end. I went for a 325cc size because I had to, and in terms of the operation itself, there are 3 ways that they can do it. So they can put the implant in different places. So they can either put it on top of your chest muscle, underneath your chest muscle, or actually what they call partial, which is half under and half over. And I'm not really sure, to be honest, how that one works. So as a bit of a background, so if you have the implant on top of the muscle, it means that you can see the implant more on your chest. That's what tends to happen when people have it done, because you haven't got the muscle of your chest covering the implant, so it's not like a nice incline from your chest to the implant. So if you have it under the muscle, for example, it means that it's just a lot of a smoother increase in your muscle size. So if you don't have much body fat and you have round implants, they are going to look more like they are fake. So they're not going to be as naturally looking if you don't have much body fat, because you're going to see the implant literally stuck to you. So I mean, years ago I've seen some really bad examples where very, very slim girls with not much body fat had quite big full implants on top of the muscle, and their boobs just look like tennis balls just stuck on, because they just didn't look natural at all. So that wasn't the look that I was going for, so I actually had it under the muscle. My recovery was actually quite good. I was on painkillers for a couple of weeks, maybe only 10 days, but there was one day when I didn't take the medication in the morning, and it was so painful, and I could feel my skin stretching. It was like a massive pulling feeling on my chest. It wasn't nice. Also, if you do get them done, do listen to what they advised you in terms of medication afterwards, because it was really painful, and I learnt my lesson then. For the rest of the time I needed to take them to definitely keep on the medication. In terms of exercising, I couldn't exercise for, I think it was 6 weeks, which for me, for someone who went to the gym so much, it was actually really, really difficult. But obviously I knew that it was only temporary. It was just that when it come to doing upper body stuff, anything with my arms, to be honest, I think the only thing that I could manage was triceps, because a lot of your muscles are one way or another connected to your chest. So it was just really, really painful. And obviously, even if the muscles weren't connected, it was just that I was aching a lot. I was in a lot of pain. Obviously there was extra weight on me now, so even my back was hurting, and it did take me ages to be able to do things like lat pull downs, pull-ups, etc. So it did take a while to get back into everything, but I just concentrated on my lower body for the first few weeks when I went back, and I didn't try and push it, because I felt like even when I was doing things like shoulders, for example, you know, I could feel like my chest was in just so much pain. I feel like I could actually feel the implants moving on my body. So it wasn't nice at all, but obviously it didn't take too long for everything to sort of go back to normal, other than the sort of when it was pulling things down and you're slightly using your chest for it. That was quite painful. In terms of scars, I do still have scars. My scars are, can't see, under my boobs. That's where they normally are. They're sort of that big incisions under both of my boobs, but to be honest, I'm not that fussed even if I have scars forever. Obviously when I had them done and they first took off the dressing after a week of my operation to just clean everything up, I mean, I couldn't even look at them, they were that disgusting. I do have a picture of them. I think I am going to do a more in-depth video about the operation and just everything itself, so do look out for that one if you are interested. So the scars I have now, they are okay, I don't mind them. They aren't just under my boob, they're actually slightly on my boob, so it's very strange because of how the skin's been pulled up to sort of fill the gap for the implant, I suppose. The skin's actually come up, my scars are actually slightly on the very, very bottom bit of my boob, so I'm just not bothered about the scars. Like, they don't fuss me at all, but I do think that I will have them forever, but that isn't something that I'm actually too fussed about. So do I have any regrets? I think the only thing that I regret about the whole thing is that I didn't take enough time off after work. So I went back to work, you meant to have so many time off, but I went back on the time that you could go back, and I just struggled. I just didn't want to go back at all, because I didn't want to be driving so soon either. So really, that's my only regret. To be honest, having them done was literally the best decision that I've ever made, because it's given me more confidence in myself. I don't feel as insecure anymore. I feel like they aren't something for me that I want to get out and show off all the time. It's mainly for me, I know I've got them, so I'm happy. I feel like even if people tried to bully me or make fun of me having small boobs now, I wouldn't care, because I know that what I've got are nice, you know. So the boobs I had before, you know, I knew they were shit. So like, it hurt my feelings when people would say something to me. I mean, I knew it was at school, and obviously people don't go around being like, oh, you've got small titties now. But it's more just, for me, I'm so much happier in myself and more comfortable wearing certain clothes, wearing sports bras, and it's just, for me, I'm just so happy that I made the decision, and I'm so happy of how it all happened. that I had them done, that I would never force myself to have them done and think, oh, one day I'm going to get a boob job. I really liked the fact that nobody really thought that I was the type of person to have them done, because I never openly spoke about wanting to have them done in the past, and I didn't really tell people, friends and family, that I was actually having them done until a few sort of weeks or months before. So for me it was actually a really good experience. I learned a lot from it, but I'll talk more about all of that in the next video that I do about this topic. And to me it's just for me it's just telling people that having a boob job, it's not bad at all. So the recovery is quite quick. Out of all the operations, it's not that expensive, and to be honest, it's made me such a happier person. So I'm definitely glad that I had them done. So if you guys have any questions at all, please pop them in the comments section. Please follow me on Instagram, subscribe to this channel, and like the video if you enjoyed it. And guys, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching.